तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva. Shri Dvārakā ki, Shri Prabhupada ki, Srīmad ki. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we are reading from Canto 1, Chapter 11, text number 7. Six here, 7. Yeah. So we're reading from Srīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 11, text 7. If everyone can open, if everyone has a copy, or if they can open up that on their phone, that would be nice, so we can all chant this side together. Please repeat after me. Bhavai nastvam bhava vishwa bhavana. Bhavai nastvam bhava vishwa bhavana. Tvameva mata tas Suratpati Pita. Tvameva Mata Tasuratpati Pita. Tvam Sadguruna Paramam Cha Daivatam. Tvam Sadguruna Paramam Cha Daivatam. Yasyanuvritya kritino bahuvim. Yasyanuvritya kritino bahuvim. Bhavainastvam bhava vishvabhavan. Tvameva mata tasuratpati pita. Tvam sadguruna paramam cha daivatam. Yasyanuvritya kritino bahuvim.
Bhavayanastvam bhavaveshvabhavana.
Bhavainastvam bhavaveshvabhavana.
Tvameva mata tasuvritpati pita.
Tvameva mata tasuvritpati pita.
Tvam sadgurunaha paramam cha devatam.
Tvam sadguruna paramam cha devatam.
Yasyanuvritya kritino bahuvima.
Yasyanuvritya kritino babhuvim.
Bhavayanastvam bhavaveshvabhavana.
Bhavainastvam bhavaveshvabhavam.
Tvameva mata suhritpati pita.
Tvameva mata tasuratpati pita.
Tvam sadguruna paramam cha daivatam.
Tvam sadguruna paramam cha daivatam.
Yasyanuvritya kritino bahuvima.
Yasyānuvritya kritino babhuvim. Yes, please.
Swami bhavayastvam bhavavishvabhavana.
Bhavāyanastvam bhavavishvabhavana.
Matascha sarvitmati pita.
Tvameva mata tasuratpati pita.
Tvam sadgurunai paramam cha devatam.
Tvam sadguruna paramam cha daivatam. Yasyānuvritya kritino babhuvim.
Bhavayanastvam bhavavishvabhavana.
Bhavāyanastvam bhavavishvabhavana.
Tvameva mata suratpati pita.
Tvameva mata tasuratpati pita.
Tvam sadguruna paramam cha daivatam.
Tvam sadguruna paramam cha daivatam.
Yasyānuvritya kritino babhuvim.
Yasyānuvritya kritino babhuvim. One last.
Bhavayanastvam bhavavishvabhavana.
Bhavāyanastvam bhavavishvabhavana.
Tvameva mata suratpati pita.
Tvameva mata tasuratpati pita.
Tvam sadguruna paramam cha daivatam.
Tvam sadguruna paramam cha daivatam.
Yasyānuvritya kritino babhuvim.
Word-to-word translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Bhavai, for welfare. Now, for us. Tvam, your Lordship. Bhava, just to become. Vishwabhavan, the Creator of the universe. Tvam, your Lordship. Eva, certainly. Mata, Mother. Atha, as also. Surat, Velvisha. Pati, husband. Pita, father. Tvam, your Lordship. Satguru, spiritual master. Na, Ava, Paramam, the Supreme. Cha, and Daivatam, worshipable deity. Yasya, whose Anuvritya, following in the footsteps. Kṛṣṇa, successful. Babhuvim, we have become. Translation. O Creator of the universe, you are our Mother, Well-wisher, Lord, Father, Spiritual Master, and worshipable deity. By following in your footsteps, we have become successful in every respect. We pray, therefore, that you continue to bless us with your mercy. The all-good personality of Godhead, being the creator of the universe, also plans the good of all good living beings. The good living beings are advised by the Lord to follow His good advice, and by doing so, they become successful in all spheres of life. There is no need to worship any deity but the Lord. The Lord is all-powerful, and He is satisfied by our obedience onto His lotus feet. He is competent to bestow upon us all kinds of blessings for the successful execution of both our material and spiritual lives. For attaining spiritual existence, the human form is a chance for all to understand our eternal relation with God. Our relation with Him is eternal. It can neither be broken nor vanquished. It may be forgotten for the time being, but it can be revived also by the grace of the Lord, if we follow his injunctions, which are revealed in the scriptures of all times and all places. Let's all chant Mangalacharan prayers together. Om Jnanantirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadhati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sadhana Raghunatham Vitamtam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pradan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Vitamscha Hare Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasavi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. It is such a beautiful purport and so complete in itself. Tells us what to do, what to follow, how to follow, what spiritual injunctions to follow. Just follow in his footsteps, and then we can attain the love of God, which is the ultimate goal. So thank you to everybody for making it to the class this morning. I know everybody has got so many physical services, and time is so precious, because with every moment that we are investing, we could actually, in our future, either we can be investing them into the future of the eternal pastimes with Radha and Krishna, with the Supreme Personality, or we could invest them in the repeated cycle of birth and death. So with every moment that we invest, we can either go this way or we can go that way. So we all have that free will. And it's nice that all of us could just gather over here. Some of them are online. So it's nice to just gather along and listen to Bhagavad Katha early in the morning. So it is the principle of the free will that differentiates us from the lower species of life. And that is something that is mentioned in the purport as well, that human form is such a rare form. So that is something that differentiates us, the free will, the intelligence that we have. Na jayate mriyate va kadachin. We are eternal, not subject to birth, old age, disease or death. And we are Satchit Ananda, full of knowledge, full of eternal bliss and happiness. We all seek happiness in some way or the other. We all want that, because that is our nature. We all want to be happy. And ultimately we can all achieve happiness is when we realize our relationship with Lord Krishna. The moment we realize the relationship between our soul and God, that's when we become happy. And this particular purport talks about different relationships. It talks about mother, father, husband, well-wisher, our guru. It talks about different relationships. So we have to realize that he is everything to us. He is our everything. Though materially we might have a lot of these relationships existing, but he ultimately is our everything. Okay? When I read this verse, the very first thing that came to my mind was the bhajan, Nadia Godrume. In that there are put two particular lines. It is so beautiful. It says, Aparad shunya hoye laho Krishna naam, Krishna mata, Krishna pita, Krishna dhana pran. So chant Krishna's name without any offense. And accept Krishna as your mother. Accept Krishna as your father. Accept Krishna as your wealth and your life. Basically, it is telling us to make the Krishna as the center of our lives. when we see in Krishna every relationship. So we go outside in this world seeking different relationships, and we all are looking for that pure love, right? But none of us will actually be, or at least from my personal experience, we are never satisfied in those relationships. Because the kind of pure love that we are looking for is something that can only be found in our relationship with Krishna. When we start to see those relationships, when we start to see Krishna in everything, that's when we are going to be able to find that pure love. You know, it is, it's a little bit funny, but once Srila Prabhupada was asked, if Krishna is the Supreme Father, how is he also the Mother? Isn't he the Supreme Male? Then how can he be both, like Mother and Father? How is that possible if he is the male? So Srila Prabhupada replied, we have to forget the material concepts when we are talking about Krishna. Krishna is spiritual. So he can be everything. He can be mother, father, sister, brother, husband. He can be everything at once. But we have to forget about the material concepts. In the material idea, we think, how can a male and a female, how can male become a female and a female become a male? How is that possible? Though things are changing now. But how is that, technically possible? But if we imagine the picture of Garbhodaksha Vishnu, when he's laying in the ocean, from his navel we can see he gives birth to Brahma. And what is Mother Lakshmi doing at that particular time? Does anybody recollect that picture?
She is caressing his feet.
Yes, he's massaging the feet of Vishnu. So Lakshmi was present there. She was just massaging Lord Vishnu's legs. Lord avoided her and produced a child without the help of Lakshmi. That's not possible in the material world, but that is something spiritual. So when we are talking about Krishna, we have to forget about the material concepts. We have to go beyond that. And we have to start seeing Krishna as the supreme, that he is beyond these material concepts. Bhagavad Gita has a very similar verse in chapter 9. Chapter 9 is, does anybody remember the title of chapter 9? The most confidential knowledge. So in that most confidential knowledge, there's a text number 17, which says, Pitaham asyo jagato mata dhata pitamaha. So I am the father of the universe, the mother, the support, and the grandchild. So again and again, we can see that it has been spoken at different places that he is the mother, he is the father, he is the grandfather, he is the guru, he is the well-wisher, he is everything. In the material sense, we create different relationships with different living entities. But we are nothing but Krishna's marginal energy. It's up to us if we want to move inferior or superior. It depends on how we are progressing. But we are all at Krishna. We are all Krishna's marginal energy under the creation of this Prakriti. So we can see some appear as our father, some appear as our mother, creator, and so on and so forth. But actually, they all are. All our relationships around us are part and parcels of Krishna. As such, the living entities appear to be in different relations, but they're nothing but Krishna. In this particular verse of Bhagavad Gita, dhata, the word dhata has been used. Dhata means creator. Not only our father and mother are parts and parcel of Krishna, but their creator, which means our grandparents are also part and parcels of Krishna. So if we start to see everything in that light, all our relationships in that light, that everybody is in part and parcel of Krishna, then we start to see Krishna everywhere. Right? This particular purport, if we read, one of the sentences said, by following in your footsteps, we have become successful in every respect. So we become successful in every respect. Krishna is bhavagrahi, which means he doesn't see what you offer. He sees the intention, the purpose, and the sentiment with which we are offering something to Krishna. And everyone, regardless of our situation that we are situated in, we have the free will, even if we have nothing materially, we have the free will to be sincere. We have the free will to be obedient. And that's the free will we have. And that is what differentiates, like I said in the beginning, human forms and animal species, because that is the difference. We have the free will to be sincere. Krishna is not looking for things. Krishna is looking for our intention, for our desire. That's what he's looking for. There's a beautiful pastime of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. After leaving hundreds and hundreds of people in Kulyagram and leading all the way, you know. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so I'm talking about a time when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was on a Sankirtan mission. He had taken sannyas and he was on his way to Vrindavan. So in Kulyagram, there were thousands and thousands of devotees who were following him. He left everybody there and he continued his travel to Vrindavan. Again, as he started making his travel to Vrindavan, on the way, many devotees, thousands and millions of devotees started joining him. Because of his beauty, his compassion, with all the love that was outpouring in different villages, everyone started following him, participating in the chanting of Krishna, God's name. Soon, hundreds and millions of people were following him. It was increasing. Amongst them was a brahmachari named Narasimhananda. And he was in the village called Kulia. Now, when he saw Lord Chaitanya leaving from Kulia for Vrindavan, he wanted to do some service. Now, he was a brahmachari. And traditional brahmacharis, as we know, they don't have anything. They can barely meet their, needs. He lived in a very humbled hut. Every time he wanted to eat, he would just go out, beg for, some remnants, and that's what he would eat. So whatever, he was very simple, a simple brahmachari, not unlike the brahmacharis we have today. He was very simple man. He had nothing, but his only desire was that he wanted to do some service for Lord Krishna, Lord Chaitanya. Now he was thinking, okay, what service can I do? And then he was thinking that the road to Vrindavan is very hard. At that time, there was no permanent structure, right? Everything was kacha. So the road to Vrindavan is so hard. And Lord will have to walk through the forest, in the heat, through the, into the desert. Everywhere, he's going to walk in such fields. It's going to be so hard. There will be scorching sun. There might be rain. There'll be winter. So he was thinking about all those things. So he decided he wants to construct a road for the Lord to walk on. Now this brahmachari who can barely construct a road from the place where he was. So just imagine this as Vrindavan just imagine this as Brisbane to Sydney, and then say 10 times of that. So we are talking about that distance. So now he wants to make a road, right? So, and he's going to, the only intention is that he wants to do that only because he wants the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to have a very comfortable journey to Vrindavan. So now he's thinking, Lord Chaitanya started thinking, oh, he's got this desire, but how is this little skinny brahmachari going to build this road, Then he sat down and he closed his eyes. He said, I'm going to tell the devotees to build the road for Lord Chaitanya. So he's meditating now. In his meditation, he's telling the devotees to build a road for Lord Chaitanya to walk on. He closed his eyes and became completely absorbed in Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his comfort. He started thinking about that. So he basically went into a samadhi. Now this is real samadhi. Samadhi does not mean that you blank out everything and you don't think of anything. That is the very monist philosophy. But samadhi is when we are absorbed in the thoughts of Krishna. That is real samadhi. So he was in 100% absorption of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he started thinking. Now he was the wonderful architectural designer, Narasimhananda Brahmachari. He began his work of construction in his mind. He was very meticulous, as meticulous as any architect would be or an engineer would be. In fact, more than that. He was building the road inch by inch in his mind, and he started right from Lord's doorstep. So that's where he started. And he was building the road inch by inch. He paved it inch by inch. And he did not just have bricks and the stones that we see. It also had jewels. And he was putting in diamonds in when he was meditating. Actually, my Guru Maharaj says, one time when we were in Vrindavan, we had gone to Radhakund. And somehow I had never been to Vrindavan. I only saw Vrindavan through the eyes of my Guru Maharaj. And he would say, There used to be swing on that Radha Kund, and there used to be, this, everything was studded. The whole Radha Kund had jewels and diamonds and all the precious stones, which obviously we can't see through our naked eyes right now. But when your guru shows you, and when Srila Prabhupada talks about these things, you start to see those things on those places, even though they're not physically there, because you start to meditate. So similarly, this brahmachari is meditating on the road that he's paving, and he's putting diamonds and emeralds and gold and silver. But then he was thinking, Lord's lotus feet should be very comfortable. He got millions. So what he did, he got millions and millions of fragrant flowers, all in his meditation. But it's not like he just had a dream and there are millions of flowers. He started plucking millions and millions of flowers. Just imagine how much time would that take. So we are not talking about a day, an hour. We are talking about weeks and weeks of meditation. He started plucking millions and millions of flowers. Then he would make petals out of them, and he covered the whole road with stemless flowers. And he meditated on the Lord walking on that road, on the side of the road. Now on the side of the road, he said, the way it's described in Chaitanya Charitamrita, he didn't have time to sow the seed and for the trees to grow. So what he did, what is the concept right now? It is called transplanted. He transplanted big trees now. He transplanted bakula trees where it was flooded with flowers, and there was ambrosial fragrance everywhere. And on each tree there were birds, not any birds, no crows. It was the sweetest sound of the singing birds, twirling, whirling, chirping, all singing beautiful music in harmony with each other. And he was so expert, even the best architectural designer, getting paid most amount of money, cannot create breeze. But he was able to do that because he had planted so many trees for Lord's comfort, for his body, for his nose. And behind the trees he constructed, now he didn't end at trees. In his meditation he also constructed lakes. So behind the trees now there are lakes with crystal clear water, very sweet water, and where in the water there were thousands of lotuses. So just imagine the way he is meditating, he is thinking about Lord's comfort, right? And on the lotus flowers, the thousands of lotus flowers, there were buzzing bees. So many buzzing bees, all humming in harmony. So they're all doing everything in harmony. And they are very buzzing around those flowers, creating this beautiful music for Lord Chaitanya. Now the beautiful thing was, as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started walking, to everyone's eyes, he was walking on a very dusty road, surrounded by some fields, there's sun on the top, everything looked so hard. That's what everyone else saw. But with every single step that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took, he was seeing, feeling and experiencing the road that Brahmachari Narasimhananda had constructed in his mind. This is Bhavagrahi. Krishna is not looking for many things. Krishna is looking for the purpose, for the intention, for the desire. That's what Krishna wants from us. And so Lord accepted the willingness and the intention of the brahmachari to serve him. Now brahmachari was keen to build the road. At least he tried. If he could not do it, he did that in meditation. The Lord will say the same thing. Even if we are meditating, does not mean we stop all our services and start meditating from today onwards. But it's all, the point we are trying to make is, it's all about the intention with which we do our services. Past for a few weeks, His Grace Viraj Krishna Prabhu has given the facility, has provided the facility to many devotees to talk about their influence of Bhagavatam in their lives. And even I was meditating on how Bhagavatam made a difference to my life. And one of the points that came to me was, at the very beginning, I made a mistake. I took up many physical services, but my reading was not very strong. So I was physically doing a lot of things, but when my reading was not strong, what happens is the growth is very limited. The growth is very small because little things around us start to affect you. You start to see the decoration as perfection. But when you start reading, you understand it is much more than it needs to be aligned properly. This needs to be kept properly. the elephants in the altar needs to be kept in a particular direction. You start to, you want all of that. But when you start to read a lot more, when you get absorbed in Bhagavatam, you start to see, okay, even if the elephants in the altar are not kept in, synchrony, maybe the elephants are dancing, who knows, in the altar, right? So when we absorb ourselves into Bhagavatam, into reading Srila Prabhupada's book, our growth, at least in my eyes, the growth is a different growth. Like you develop, you start to make a little progress. But when we start to do physical services without any reading, then our growth is very limited. To the outside world, yes, we are doing many, many services, but are we really growing? And that was one of the realizations I had just thinking about what Bhagavatam has done to me. So I have spoken about it to a few devotees as well who have started their journey and who are doing a lot of services. I always tell them, this was the mistake I made. You don't do that. Please read from the very beginning, because that was a mistake I made. Anyways, getting back to the brahmachari. So hundreds of kilometers passed, and he was just building the road in his meditation. One step at a time, he was just building the road, putting another tree. Just imagine, okay, you are young, you would know, the VR that we have today, the virtual reality. As a teacher, I had gone to high school, and one of the courses was virtual reality. So I put on those goggles, and now I could see everything around me, right? And my job was, I had this ball that had to be passed through a particular hole, and there were many obstacles, and I would have to pick them up, place them there. So to the outside world, it would look like I'm doing this. It looks very funny, right? But it's virtual reality. And when this, I was reading about brahmachari, it's almost like that virtual reality, right? In his mind, he could see everything. He didn't need another, electronical device to see that. He could see everything without that electronic device. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started reciprocating. He could experience, even the brahmachari could experience Lord's pleasure. He could see that he's making a difference to Lord's, the way Lord is walking, he's making a difference. He's serving the Lord. He could feel that way. Why? Because Krishna tells everyone in Bhagavad Gita that I'm situated in everyone's heart. Lord Krishna is pleased from within the heart. The Lord reciprocates. We feel his pleasure. We feel his love in the purified state. Ishvara sarva bhutanam riddeshe arjuna tistadhi brahmayan sarva bhutani yantra rudani mayaya. It's in chapter 18, text 61. And then Bhagavad Gita also tells us Krishna accepts everything. If you offer with devotion a leaf, flower, some fruit, water, he accepts this. He's only concerned with our love, with our devotion. If without any malice, without any duplicity, we are able to be honest. Prabhu was mentioning yesterday about honesty. Honesty is different from pure devotee. We have to be honest with ourselves, at least where we are at. So that honesty is required, and then we can make progress. So he constructed this road, but in his mind when he was meditating, he reached a particular point called Kanai Natyashala. And he tried very hard to construct a road beyond it, but he was not able to construct it. And he had to open his eyes, and he told the devotees around that it looks like Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not going beyond, is not going to walk beyond Kanai Natyashala. That's what he said. And everyone was like, no, what are you saying? He's already on his way. And brahmachari said, no, he's going to come back to Puri. He's not going to Vrindavan. That's what he told everyone. So everybody understood that this brahmachari is a great person. So they did not question him. But they were confused. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is already came to Ramakeli. Again, many important pastimes happen in Ramakeli. That is discussion for another class about Sanatan Goswami and Rupa Goswami. But there was one more little thing that I would like to add is, as brahmachari, from coming to your house to this particular center, there can be many routes. There can be a shorter way, a long cut. Accidentally, brahmachari built the road from a longer route. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took that longer route and reached the Ramakeli. He did not take the shortcut. He walked the path that the brahmachari has paved. That is how Lord was reciprocating. So that was done. So Lord Chaitanya was seeing and following the route, even though he is thousands and thousands of miles away. He goes to Kanai Natashala, and it is a beautiful forest. It is so beautiful that there are a lot of forest. Lot of the things that I spoke about, they're still there in Kanai Natashala. I have never been there, but I have the desire to go there. I think all of us should go there together maybe one day. So with all these hundreds and thousands of people, they were walking, making so much noise, breaking into different bushes, and the birds were running and flying away. Lord Chaitanya was thinking about something that Sanatana Goswami had told him. Sanatana Goswami had told him that if you want to go to Vrindavan, then you must go along with 2 or 3 devotees, because then you'll be able to be absorbed in the pastimes of Lord Krishna. I don't think you should go with these many devotees to Vrindavan. So what Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did, he came back to Puri. He didn't go to Vrindavan in that particular pastime. He came back to Puri. And the devotees were wonderstruck. How did the brahmachari know that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going to come back? So whatever is our situation, we have the complete opportunity. All of us, each one of us have the opportunity to serve Krishna. There is no limitation. Right? We can say, but I don't have this financially. I'm not stable enough to serve like this and like that. But it is not about that. The opportunity to serve Krishna is there. According to our capacities, we are able to serve Krishna. If we say, oh, I'm not physically fit, or I'm not financially fit, or if I say I've got kids, no, those are just excuses. Yes, I have to serve the family, but when we have the desire, guess what? The time expands. Then Srila Prabhupada empowers us. It is all based on our desire. Empowerment happens because of our desire. So can we really understand Krishna's plan? No, we cannot. He gives us everything and makes us successful. He takes away everything from us and still makes us successful. We are successful in both cases. Even when he gives us something and when he takes away something, we are still successful because there is a hidden plan of Krishna behind every action. So can we really understand Krishna's plan? No. Srila Prabhupada wrote a poem, if you look at Srila Prabhupada's life, everything got taken away from him. His business, his kids, he had to leave them, his wife, his mother and father left, obviously, the material world. What else? Even the first manuscript of Bhagavad Gita that he wrote got taken away. Right? That was lost. So do we really understand Krishna's plan? Srila Prabhupada wrote this beautiful poem while he was seated in the Radha Damodar temple in Vrindavan. I don't know if you've been there, but if you've been there, it's a very humble room, small room. But it's a place where the 6 Goswamis used to discuss Krishna, used to discuss philosophy, used to discuss higher scriptures. So it's a very powerful place. Now when Srila Prabhupada was seated there, it's a long poem, I'll just read out the first 2 verses. I'm sitting alone in Vrindavan Dham. In this mood, I'm getting many realizations. I have my wife, sons, daughters, grandsons, everything. But I have no money, so they are a fruitless glory. Krishna has shown me the naked form of material nature. By his strength, it has all become tasteless to me today. Yasyaham anugranami hridayase tad dhanam sane. I gradually take away all the wealth of those upon whom I am merciful. How was I able to understand this mercy of all merciful? Everyone has abandoned me, seeing me as penniless, wife, relatives, friends, brothers, everyone. This is misery, but it gives me a laugh. I sit alone and laugh. In this Maya Samsara, whom do I really love? Where have all my loving father and mother gone to now? And where are all my elders, who were my own folk? Who will give me the news of them? Tell me who? And all that is left of this family life is a list of names. So all that was left was just a list of names. So when we follow in Krishna's footsteps, Srila Prabhupada was completely absorbed in following in the footsteps into fulfilling the desire of his spiritual master. So when we follow in the footsteps of Krishna, Krishna starts to pave the way for us to become successful and starts to take steps into our hearts. Like when in the case of Brahmachari, he started walking on that path, he was getting into his heart. Similarly, when we make those sincere efforts, make those sincere steps, then Krishna starts to pave his way into our hearts. With every single step Lord Chaitanya took, he was seeing, feeling and experiencing the road that Narasimhananda Brahmachari was constructing in his mind. So these are such beautiful prayers. Now, talking about steps, I thought it would be befitting to talk about Lord Vamana Dev today. We talk about 3 steps, right? We're talking about steps. So I thought it would be nice to speak about the Lord Vamana Dev a little bit on Vamana Dvārakā, because it all connects. It all somehow connects to this particular purport as well. On the outside, we might think, was he tricking Bali Maharaj to take away, by taking away everything he had? What do you think? Was he tricking Bali Maharaj by taking away everything Bali Maharaj had? So he came as a dwarf, and then he's trying to take away everything from Bali Maharaj. Was he tricking Bali Maharaj?
He was merciful to Bali Maharaj.
How?
Because he wanted to break his ego, a little bit of ego of Bali Maharaj.
Yes.
That was hindering his progression in the bhakti.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So apparently on the outside one might think that, okay, the advantage was taken of Bali Maharaj. But actually Lord Vamana, like you said, was setting the stage. He was setting the stage to reveal, not just to break the ego, but to reveal Bali Maharaj's extraordinary devotion for Lord Krishna. That's what the stage was set up for, to reveal. He wanted to glorify Bali Maharaj. Bali Maharaj is one of the Mahajans. He wanted the glorification to happen for his devotees, and we have seen it time and time again in Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam talks about these different relationships. And these are spiritual relationships, they are beautiful. In this particular instance, past time as well, we see that the setting of the stage is done so that Bali Maharaj's glorification can happen in the future. So, so we are talking about a time, I'm just fast forwarding the past time a little bit because it's a long past time. But Bali Maharaj is the grandson of Prahlad Maharaj. He's the grandson of Prahlad Maharaj. He's also the king of the demons. He had taken over the kingdom of heaven, right? And when that got taken away, Mother Aditi, who was the mother of all the devas, so it's very interesting. Mother Aditi is the mother of the devas, and Mother Diti is the mother of all the demons, and they both have the same husband, Kashyapa. So it was basically a fight between 2 mothers, fight between 2 wives, same husband. Just imagine the situation of the husband. So anyway, so Mother Aditi was like, okay, my sons have no place to live. She was talking to Kashyapa, and Kashyapa was like, surrender. He was talking about big things, but Mother Aditi was like, no, as a mother, you don't want that. Right? As a mother, you want the best for your kids. Even when your kids is struggling, and you know the concept of karma, and you know the concept, okay, there might be some purification happening, but when I saw my son breaking his arm, it was painful. And I wanted to give him all the comforts despite knowing everything. So as a mother, we feel the pain, and Mother Aditi was going through the same pain. She was feeling, oh, my son's things have been taken away. Now, when we go to Krishna, we have to go to Krishna for everything, not just for our spiritual desires. Even if we have material desires, we can approach Krishna. Just imagine this, that your father is there, but you knock on the neighbor's door and you tell them, I'm very hungry, can you give me some food? And your mother is just standing right there in the kitchen for you. So that's how Krishna feels when we go to someone else for help. We have to go to Krishna for help. So Mother Aditi observed a fast of 12 days only on milk. Lord Vishnu got really pleased with her and said, okay, I'm going to appear as your son, as Vamandev, a dwarf Brahmana. And that's how he took birth. Now, again we can see that Lord responds to sincere prayers of devotees. And Vamandev appeared in response to Mother Aditi's prayers to fulfill her desire. That is one thing. That is one aspect of looking at it, to fulfill Mother Aditi's desire. The other thing is Vamandev appeared to fulfill the desire of Maharaj Prahlad. He was there to fulfill the prayers of Prahlad Maharaj. How? Because remember when we were doing Narsingha Chaturdasi and we discussed the pastime, it was discussed that Prahlad Maharaj towards the end, what had happened towards the end? What was Prahlad Maharaj's prayer? What did he want for his father?
Liberation.
Yeah, he wanted his father to be liberated. And what did Narsingha Dev say? That Lord had responded that if Hiranyakashipu is getting delivered, then why not Bali, who has so many good qualities? So we also have to deliver him. So Vamandev appeared not just to deliver, not just to fulfill the prayers of Mother Aditi, but also to fulfill the prayers of Prahlad Maharaj. So eventually, when Bali Maharaj was doing the sacrificial arena, when he was performing that to please his guru, when that was happening, Lord Vamana eventually appeared there. Bali Maharaj welcomed Vamana, washed his feet with the Ganges water. Bali Maharaj was spontaneously attracted to Lord Vamandev because he had so much effulgence that Amarendra Prabhu says it's almost important to, wear your goggles because there's so much effulgence coming out, you could not even see him. But Bali Maharaj wanted to actually pay obeisances, but that would not be very appropriate because he was he belonged to the demon side and they were not meant to be doing that. He could not do that. But Vamandev understood his heart and accepted those obeisances. Sometimes in our life as well, because of the external situation, we are not able to do some things, right? Like say, for example, wear tilak at the office, but we put water at tilak. Or in our heart, we are dressing up like we have tilak around, we have that bodily, marks. When we do that, Krishna accepts it. It's not all about, yes, when we need to have a certain etiquette, but sometimes Krishna accepts it, especially, when sometimes when you're preaching to your colleagues at work, you might have to say certain things a certain way. Ultimately, you will get them to Krishna. You have to bring them. But you do them, but Krishna accepts it. So Krishna accepted, Krishna is Bhagavatam. He accepts the purpose. So he accepted the serious intention. Now, Bali Maharaj then took the opportunity to, after washing the feet, he asked Lord Vamana, what do you want? Like, take anything. I would like to serve you. Take anything you desire. Vamandev said, I want 3 steps of land, right? That's what we all know. He wanted 3 steps of land. And Bali Maharaj said, this Rudwa Vamana, he's so innocent. He doesn't understand. I'm the king. He could ask for anything, cows, palaces, anything. And he is asking for 3 pieces of land. Maybe he doesn't understand. So Bali Maharaj asked him again, are you sure you just want 3 pieces of land? I can actually give you a lot of things. I've conquered the entire world. I can give you anything you desire. And Vamandev said, no, I just want 3 pieces of land. And then he said, it is a couple of purports, couple of translations from Canto 8. Oh my dear king, even the entirety of whatever there may be within the 3 worlds to satisfy one's senses cannot satisfy a person whose senses are uncontrolled. If I were not satisfied with those 3 pieces of land, then surely I would not be satisfied even with possessing one of the 7 islands consisting of 9 varshas. Even if I possessed one island, I would hope to get others. One should be satisfied with whatever he achieves by his previous destiny, for discontent can never bring happiness. That's what Vamandev told Bali Maharaj. Satisfaction leads to liberation, while dissatisfaction leads to transmigration. Okay, so if one doesn't have the inner fulfillment in experiencing the the shelter of Lord's. So when we are listening about Lord, we have to experience that satisfaction when we are hearing about Lord, when we are glorifying Him, when we are remembering Him. If we are not able to get that satisfaction, then we need to pause, introspect. Why are we not getting that satisfaction? Because when we are glorifying Lord, when we are listening about God, we need to get satisfaction. But if we start to think, when we are doing services, we start to think, oh, that person is doing a better job than me. How is that possible? If that mood comes into the picture, then we got to pause, introspect, and then reflect, and then work on again. So when we are glorifying Krishna, when we are serving Krishna, when you are baking cakes for Krishna, there must be immense satisfaction when we are doing those sort of services, because satisfaction in bhakti depends on the purity of intent. Aituki, which means without any material motives. I'm here giving a class not to display my speaking ability. That would be wrong. But if I'm here on the Vyasasana, taking permission of Vyasadev and other parampara and serving in that mood, that is important. But then we have to constantly remind ourselves of that, because Maya is continuously playing around us as well. So we have to continue. So we have to be aituki, without any material motive, and our attempts have to be consistent. It has to be aparahita, unimpeded. It has to be consistent attempt. Bali Maharaj smiled and told Vamandev, all right, take whatever you like. To confirm his promise, Bali Maharaj took the water, so the sankalp was confirmed now, nothing, no going back. Now Shukracharya comes into picture, his guru. Shukracharya was completely aware that Bali Maharaj, that who is Lord Vamandev. He was aware that he was deceiving Bali Maharaj. Now, if the guru is true, he would want Bali Maharaj to give everything and worship Lord Vishnu, right? But Shukracharya was concerned more about his thing, because if Bali Maharaj gives everything to Lord Vamandev, then the demigods will get their heavenly kingdoms back, and then their guru would be glorified much more than Shukracharya. So Shukracharya was more concerned about his glorification than thinking about his disciples. A true guru always thinks about his disciples. He gives us a vision that is higher than our own. That is what a guru does. This is what Tamal Krishna Maharaj used to say. So if that is what guru has to do, Shukracharya was not doing the right thing. So Shukracharya gave 9 reasons to Bali Maharaj why you should not give this charity to Lord Vamandev. Number 1, this boy is Lord Vishnu and has appeared to fulfill the purpose of the Devas. Number 2, your promise will bring great inauspiciousness to the Asuras. Number 3, Lord Vishnu will take away all your wealth and give it to Indra. 4, how will you live when he takes away everything from you? 5, you can't even fulfill your promise, as he will occupy everything in 2 steps. What will you do about the 3rd step? You won't be able to fulfill your promise. 6, unable to fulfill your promise, you will have to reside in hell. So now he's scaring Bali Maharaj. 7, charity that endangers one's livelihood is not praiseworthy. It is endangering your livelihood. It's not practical. 8, one has to divide one's wealth for religion, reputation, opulence, sense gratification, and family, not for charity alone. So now he's quoting some Shastra. 9, take back your promise. One has to maintain one's body even by untruth. So although it's difficult for even great philosophers to understand Lord's plan, Shukracharya was actually understanding Lord's plan. He could understand what Lord Vamandev is going to do. He's going to take everything in 2 steps. What about the 3rd step? He could understand all of that. How did that become possible? How did Shukracharya, being the guru of the demons, understand what the intention of Lord Vamandev is? Would anybody like to respond to that? Any guesses is okay.
Implanted by Krishna.
Sorry?
Implanted by Krishna.
Implanted by Krishna. Why?
So that he becomes part of the whole pastime.
Yes, that is one thing. But there's also one more deeper thing. Yes, he becomes a part of Krishna's pastime, and Krishna wanted him, Shukracharya, to know what the intention of Lord Vamandev is. But Bali Maharaj then would have to disobey his guru. Now this is a special circumstance in which the Guru has been disobeyed, because the Guru, when the Guru is not showing us the right path, then really this was a special circumstance in which Bali Maharaj had to go against his own Guru, right? So Shukracharya could advise Bali Maharaj not to give charity to the Lord, but then to offer the charity to Vamana, Bali would disobey his Guru, and thus Bali Maharaj's glory, devotion, tolerance, surrender would be revealed to the entire universe. And that is what the hidden agenda was. Lord Krishna really wanted Bali Maharaj's glorification to happen, his devotion, his truthfulness, his honesty, his humility to be glorified in the entire universe. So Bali Maharaj was quite fixed in his truthfulness, and especially to his devotion to Lord Vishnu. Now, to the 9 reasons that Shukracharya gave, Bali Maharaj gave 9 reasons why he should give charity. Right? I'll quickly go through them. Number 1, I'm the grandson of glorious Prahlad Maharaj. How can I withdraw my promise? Number 2, there is nothing more sinful than untruthfulness. So that is one of the legs, remember, of the bull. And right now in Kali Yuga, that's the only leg we are standing on, truthfulness. Number 3, I don't fear hell, poverty, distress, or even death as much as I fear cheating a Brahmana. In this case, because the Brahmana was pure. We have a lot of cheated Brahmanas in today's day and age, so we have to be mindful. Number 4, wealth is separated from us at the time of death. Why not please a Brahmana with that wealth? 5, Dadichi, Shibi, and many other great souls sacrificed even their own lives for the benefit of others. 6, time destroys everything except one's reputation. 7, the chance to give charity to a Brahmana is very rare. 8, becoming poverty-stricken by such a charity is very auspicious. You know, like Queen Kunti's prayers, remember, we were discussing and we say, give me this, problems again and again. So similar thing. 9, if it is Vishnu who has come here in the form of this Brahmana, I must carry out his order. So if a Guru advises something against the desire of the Supreme Lord, then there is no fault in disobeying such an order. So Bali Maharaj offered those 3 steps to Vamandev. Vamandev became that Trivikrama, right? Trivikrama means one who can take those great 3 steps. First one, he increased his size. Similar thing happened there's so much parallels between different pastimes of Lord Krishna. We look at Bhagavad Gita, he again showed his universal form. Similar situation is happening over here. Similar situation happened even when Krishna showed his universal form to Mother Yashoda. So we can see so many parallels going on between all these pastimes. If we actually sit and study these pastimes, we will see there are a lot of parallels. So he expanded himself. He actually covered the entire earth in first step, all the other planets in second step. And now the Asuras started attacking Vamandev. Vamandev stopped, Bali Maharaj stopped Vamandev. And then the Garuda, Lord Vishnu's carrier, came into picture. He arrested Bali Maharaj with ropes and said, you told us 3 steps, you have only given us 2 steps. What about the 3rd step? We want 3rd step. You're falsely proud of your wealth. You promised me 3 steps, Vamandev said. But I've occupied the entire universe by 2 steps. Where shall I put my 3rd step? So on one end, we can see that, why is Lord Vamandev mistreating Bali Maharaj like that? Poor, Bali Maharaj is given everything. What else does Vamandev want? But again, this was these statements are deliberately made by Lord Vamandev, so that deliberately this thing happened because we are again focusing on Bali Maharaj's toleration and humility. We are focusing on that without being undisturbed. He does not have he's not disturbed by the words of Lord Vamanadev. He's not disturbed that everything got taken away. He said, Bali Ravacha. So this is a beautiful shlok, verse from Srīmad Bhāgavatam. Prabhu, probably you should recite this one. You would know this one. Yadi Uttama Shloka Bhava. Do you know that one, Prabhu? Okay, I'll do it. Yadi uttam.
What's
Yeah.
the number of the shlokas?
For some reason I don't have it here. Yadi uttam shloka bhavan meritam vacho vyalikam suravarya manyate karomi ritam tanna bhavet pralambhanan padam tritityam kuru shrishni me nijan. O Lord, if you think my promise has become false, I shall rectify the situation. Place your third lotus footstep on my head. I consider the most exalted punishment that which is given by you, the supreme well-wisher and benefactor even of the asuras. I don't feel ashamed or aggrieved on being arrested by you. So he gave his head, like he gave himself. He basically surrendered. Thus Bali Maharaj offered himself to the Lord after having offered all his property to show the entire universe Bali Maharaj's tolerance. Vaman, they've humiliated him in this way. Generally, wealthy persons are famous. Generally, wealthy persons who are rich by money are famous. But Bali Maharaj became famous for all time for being deprived of his wealth. Not for the wealth, but for being deprived. Because again, he maintained equanimity even in such disturbing situation. He could tolerate them. And that is a manifestation of true surrender. And Lord Vamandev said, I favor my devotee who is puffed up with material opulence by taking away all his possessions. If despite possessing high birth, youth, beauty, education, opulence, and wealth, one is not proud, such a person is understood to be favored by me. So if we have any of this, young age, beauty, wealth, health, speaking ability, or some other qualification, and if we are not proud, then we have to understand that we are being favored by Lord Krishna. Because if we feel pride in whatever we are doing, then we are being favored by Maya. But if we are not being proud, we are being favored by Lord Krishna. So Lord Vamandev in that way blessed Bali Maharaj. He said, you will become Indra during the reign of Shravani, the 8th Manu. You may live in the Sutala planet, which is more opulent than heaven. And Lord Vamandev said he will become the doorkeeper, staying awake all the time to protect you from all attacks. Even in the, we can see even in the association of the demons, Lord Bali Maharaj did not adopt that mentality of demons. So even when we go to sometimes to work, we say, oh, we are surrounded by this materialist all the time. How do we stay clean? That is one of the questions. But like Bali Maharaj, we have to take inspiration from these pastimes. Even amongst demons, Prahlad Maharaj could do it, Bali Maharaj could do it. We have to, in a very prayerful mode, offer our obeisances to such great Vaishnavas and pray for that mode, for that protection. So Bali Maharaj offered respects to the Lord, happily went to Sutal along with other asuras. Prahlad Maharaj joined him, following in the Lord's instruction. Although a pure devotee may appear to have gone to hell or heaven, he doesn't live in either place. He always lives in Vaikuntha, the spiritual world. So we can see through Bali Maharaj that Bali Maharaj was not a sadhana siddha. He did not become perfect by following in the prescribed rules and regulations, but he was a kripa siddha. He was a kripa siddha, which means he became perfect by the mercy of the devotees and the Lord. And that's how he became perfect. So perfection is attained through many, many ways. By following in rules, by getting in the mercy. So we can see through this pastime that Lord Vamanadev very nicely, very happily accepted the position of the doorkeeper. Again a parallel. Lord Krishna accepted the position of a chariot driver in the battle of Kurukshetra very happily. And over here Lord Vamanadev accepted the position of the doorkeeper very happily to protect him. So we can see parallels in so many different pastimes, and we can see that there are parallels, and the similarity is Lord protects his devotees. Lord Krishna really loves us. He will do anything and He will accept any position to protect us if our intention is pure, if our desire is clean, and if our desire is to please Him. So with that particular thing, I think I will end today's session. I think we've gone a bit too long. After last class I was told, you finished your class too early. The breakfast was not ready yet. So I had a few extra things today so that the breakfast can be ready. Thank you so much for listening so nicely. If you have any comments, questions, inspiration, realizations on this special day, please share them with us.
The verse is 8.22.2.
Okay. Okay.
And on your realization, Mataji, on your comment that you did a lot of services and reading, I feel it is both the ways. Like you need to read and parallel do services.
Yes. Yes.
Because to me, it feels like it's theory that we read all these things, but when you do the practical things of the services, then that's when you get the practical
Yes, I
experience.
agree. It has to go hand in hand. But if our foundation is strong, then a lot of things don't affect us. Otherwise, little things start to affect you, like, oh, why is this person behaving like that with me? You know, simple things like, I'd asked him to come at 2 o'clock, he's not here and it's 4 o'clock. Simple things like that starts to affect you and takes away so much of energy that can be used in Krishna's service instead. So when we read, we start to realize, oh, these things don't matter. How does it matter? Krishna is in control of everything. We are not in control. We try to take charge. So this is just me speaking about myself. I'll try to take charge of things, of my services. Yes, I'm responsible for it, but ultimately Krishna is in control. And that we realize when we start reading more and more, when we read about different Vaishnavas, different devotees around us who are serving in such a beautiful way. So, yeah, we have to go hand in hand. I'm not saying stop your physical services. The management, BBY management is going to not like me for saying that. No, do your services. But alongside, it's a beautiful culture of, I think, reading Bhagavatam every morning. You know, Keshav Maharaj said 3 C's. Consistent. So we're consistently reading Srīmad Bhāgavatam. Next C is coaching. We're continuously being coached, you know, by the Vaishnavas around us in these verses. Third is community. We are building a culture and community of this strong foundation, of this like-minded people that really helps us to become nicer. That really helps us to grow. So that was my only thing, Prabhu. Yes, it has to go hand in hand. I agree with you completely.
Even Sakirai Prabhu was saying that our sadhana, studying and services should go hand in hand.
Yes. Yes.
And also, practically speaking, we have to be intelligent about things as well.
Yes.
So we know that 6:30 in the morning is Srīmad Bhāgavatam, 7:30 on Sundays. So we should try taking any services during that time.
Yes.
Saturday feast is at 6 o'clock, 6:30
Yes.
is the class. So while certain things needs to be done, the cleaning in the kitchen needs to happen, but the manpower or the services, should be at a very thin operation at that
Yes.
time, and most devotees should be sitting in the class. So we should manage it that way.
Yes.
And also another thing we learn from this pastime of Bali Maharaj is that he is giving the highest priority to the will and the wish of the Lord, even at the
Yes.
cost of his own demise in front
Yes.
of his family and his spiritual master. So any instructions we are given, we should take it with that note that our what we call honor should be secondary to the pleasure of the Lord.
Yes.
And that's how we learn from this pastime how we should conduct ourselves.
Definitely, Prabhu. Yeah. It's true. Probably a roster would help with those services, the cleaning and the other services. So that everyone gets a chance to sit in the class.
Yes, yes.
That might be some suggestion.
Looking
So-
volunteers.
Sorry?
We're looking volunteers for that.
Yes, Prabhu. Count me in. So no one has a question, so I have a question. If you don't, anyway, I have a question. And I genuinely don't have the answer to that question. Does these 3 steps symbolize something of Lord Vamandev? And that's my genuine question. I was trying to look up, but I could not find, I don't know, it might just be something to research upon. Does these 3 steps symbolize something?
Might be the phases of our life.
Sorry?
It might be the phases of our life. PHASES.
Yes. Yeah, but it's a bit of speculation. We might do some research on that for next time.
I mean, again, it may be speculation, but there is a verse which my Guru Maharaj said, Trisu Santosa Kartavya, satisfaction in 3 things, in a wife or husband, satisfaction in money, and satisfaction in whatever food comes in our plate. And one should never be satisfied with 3 things, with one's chanting, one's learning of scriptures, and charity.
Right. Yeah.
So again, I mean, we can link it up.
No problems. Thank you so much everybody for joining. Granthra Srīmad Bhāgavatam ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Harekrishna Bhakti Mataji ki
Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.